Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Thanks a lot, Las Cian Corla. The motion is right that there's been a lot of waste by this government so far, and in particular a lot of waste by successive Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael governments down through the years. But the motion and the analysis and the speeches we have heard from them fail to look under the bonnet and figure out why is this waste happening. And therefore the solutions that they propose would actually make things even worse, because the motion seeks to double down on a neoliberal rip-off republic where public services are outsourced to the private sector, leaving behind an empty shell of a state that cannot do basic common sense things like building public housing, providing bike sheds, building walls. All those things instead are outsourced to a profiteering private sector. Independent Ireland are so blinded by their right-wing neoliberal ideology that they want to ape Trump and Musk and set up an Irish version of DOGE, the so-called Department of Efficiency and Reform. We've all seen the horror of what is happening in the US. Staff and funding for cancer research, nuclear safety, public health, all being slashed. Public sector workers being fired by email. Thankfully, workers and unions in this country have fought for stronger rights than they have in the US. It is not possible to fire thousands of public sector workers at will by email. But we know from this motion what Independent Ireland would do if they got that chance. Public sector workers beware. Laying waste to the public sector is Independent Ireland's agenda. Now let's lift up the bonnet and figure out, why is government waste happening? Is it because we're not outsourcing enough to the private sector? No, the opposite is true. Because when you dig into any of the infamous examples of government waste, including the bike shed, what you find in every single case are examples of well-connected private companies ripping off the state and the public. Sensori, the company that built the bike shed, was founded by Michael Stone, a big political supporter, a donor of Pascal Donoghue, the man who got his posters up for free. They got over 21 million euros in government contracts in the last 2 years alone. Charging 336,000 euros for a bike shed has had no effect on them continuing to be awarded massive state contracts. You'll see their vans in this building today. It's the same story with housing. The state has agreed to pay 3.4 billion in rent to vulture funds to lease 9,000 social homes for the next 25 years. When the 25 years are up, the vultures will still own the property and can do whatever they like with it. That's on top of 10 billion euros in government handouts to landlords since 2011. Now that is waste on a colossal scale. The government could have used that money to directly build public housing, provide permanent social and affordable housing for upwards of 50,000 families. None of that, or the 26 billion set to be wasted on fines for climate inaction, tends to be mentioned in debates around government waste, because it doesn't fit the right-wing narrative that the public are being fed on this. The cause of government waste is not public sector workers, it's not hard-working teachers, it's not nurses, it's not firefighters, it's the profit-seeking vultures circling the state, always on the lookout for ways to inflate the cost of government contracts and to slash wages and conditions of workers. That's what BAM have done with the National Children's Hospital, and it's that neoliberal rip-off republic that we need to get away from, not get deeper into, if we want to stop waste.
Thanks, Deputy Ward.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.